Hey everyone, welcome back to Good Morning Arkansas. We have Jack Hilburn with Paul Choice, and she is here to share some ways to live a sugar-free life. Thanks so much for being here with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so what is it about being sugar-free that's important, or why are people kind of turning to this as an option?
Well, because it has a lot of effects on our body. So, sugar, the intake of sugar, one of the things that it does to us is it affects our brain.
Mm-hmm.
So, you wake up, you're tired, you immediately grab a soda or a Snickers bar, and then you get that chemical release dopamine, which is that feel-good hormone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go high, and then you go low.
And then you crash.
Right. So it's no surprise that it links to our moods.
Mm-hmm.
So studies have shown that in Americans, in adults, depression is very high when it comes to an excessive intake of sugar.
Interesting. I've never heard that.
Yeah, and what we're talking about in sugar is your added sugars.
Okay.
So this is your natural sugar.
Okay. What are added sugars? Let's go over that.
Okay, so added sugars are sugars or syrup that have been added and prepared and processed into food.
Okay.
Whereas your natural sugar is, your fruits, your natural sugar, oranges, vegetables, anything that's raw and comes from the ground, it's not having to be processed and prepared. So an added sugar on the labels, you'll see corn syrup, fructose, anything of that nature.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So all the stuff on this side, do you want to go over some of the stuff that you brought for us to see today?
Yeah, so we've got some Oreos, which I can always, I'm sure I'm not the only one. I can always take down a whole bag.
Row,
Yeah, the bag.
At least a row.
Yeah. And then, we've got the powdered covered donuts, your chocolate chip cookies, and then your white sugar.
Mm-hmm.
White sugar, that's also a key, is if it's white sugar, that's an added sugar. Stay away from it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Then you've got your sodas.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've got those people that are regular soda drinkers,
I will admit, I'm one of those.
And then some M&Ms, and then your candy.
This is the big one during this season.
Yes.
The candy, since we just had Halloween.
Yes.
Kids are eating a lot of candy. Even parents are dipping into their kids' Halloween bags and eating some of those as a snack.
Yes, and on that note, so candy doesn't, or added sugar doesn't rot your teeth, but it does, the bacteria that sugar causes, your teeth love to linger and attach to that, so it causes cavities.
Oh, okay.
So that's another effect. And then your joints. So we're getting into the colder months, and we're stiff, we're not moving a lot, it's harder to move. It brings inflammation to your joints. So you want to kind of cut back on the sugar so that you can kind of, wake up not feeling really stiff, or you can go out for that walk and not feel, achy and whatnot.
Yeah.
And another big thing is it affects your heart. So the extra insulin that comes through your bloodstream adds stress to your circulatory system. So for me, I have an autoimmune disease. So sugar, this added sugar over here, really affects the inflammation of my body as well as my heart and my circulation. So when it's cold outside, I find my fingertips not being able to get circulation.
Yeah.
And so if someone's experiencing that, kind of look at your food intake, and if you've got excess sugar, see if you can cut back on that and see if that kind of improves your circulation a
so
little bit.
Sugar might be something that's affecting all different parts of your body, from your teeth to your circulation to your heart.
Right, and then obviously, the biggest thing that we all know is it adds to your waistline.
Yes, yeah.
All right, so we are at the holidays, and so it is going to be a little difficult to kind of, stay away from the sweets, but the biggest thing with being sugar-free is we don't want it to be a momentary diet fad.
Yeah.
We want it to be a lifestyle change.
Which can be really hard to make that change and not just keep it temporary for dieting purposes. Maybe you want to lose that 10 pounds, but...
Exactly. So in order to, move forward into making it a lifestyle change, you just have to be mindful, do it in little steps. So if you're a 10 soda drinker a day, I don't know how many you do a day.
Not 10, not quite 10.
But, so cut back to maybe 8,
Yeah.
and kind of
Over time.
Yeah, have goals set for yourself. Because the biggest thing when you cut back on sugar, if you're heavily addicted, because added sugar is addictive.
Yeah.
And so you want to cut back a little bit at a time. And you know, in the morning for breakfast, instead of grabbing, you know, a bowl of cereal, grab a bowl of oats and add some fruit on top of it instead of syrup, you know?
Yeah, and speaking of fruit, you brought some fruit and veggies here. We're talking about, you know, added sugars aren't necessarily the best, but what about stuff that naturally has sugar, like fruits and vegetables?
Yeah, so that is a good intake. So that's gonna be, this works with your body, you know? But it's not going to do the damage that added sugar does, because added sugar is not natural.
Yes, okay.
Whereas if it's coming from the ground, it's not being, you know,
processed
and prepared and injected. You don't have to worry about what's in it or what's, you know, what's going to affect your body. So, and then for, obviously, when you go out, you want to be prepared.
Yeah.
Restaurants now have their menus online.
Oh, that's a good tip there.
Yeah.
To look online beforehand.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you know that you're watching your excess sugar, you know, kind of review
Pick out the things on there that you think would work along with your diet.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And then also a big key changer is your condiments. No one thinks about your
like
condiments.
ketchup and stuff has sugar in it. So we're starting to run out of time here, but let's give people information on Qual Choice, where they can go to get more information.
Yeah, so if you just go to qualchoice.com, you can always just go onto our website, and there you can find more information as far as.
Thank you so much, Jack, for being here with us.